Good afternoon. Good to see everybody here. Thank you very much for coming. For the past 26 years, the Bermuda End-to-End Charitable Trust has focused all of our efforts and activities on improving the health and well-being of our island community, its people, and also the environment. And we are so fortunate that Catlin, our title sponsor for our annual event, shares the same passion for the betterment of Bermuda. And so we are here today because of this shared regard and respect for Bermuda to make a special announcement. And with us today is Minister for Health and Environment, the Honorable Trevor Moniz.
Thank you all, and thank you for being here today for this. Good afternoon, everyone. I wish to begin today by thanking the Bermuda End-to-End and its title sponsor, Catlin Bermuda, for the creation of the Catlin Grant, which, as we have heard, has been, and will hear, has been launched to award significant funding to projects directly linked to the Bermuda marine environment. And as Minister of Health and Environment, this is certainly an initiative which we support in the Bermuda government. I commend their goal to encourage the creation of new environmental projects which have measurable outcomes and which are sustainable over time, whether they be scientific or educational projects. The Catlin Grant totals $100,000 and will be paid out over 3 years, beginning this year. The grant may be divided into smaller funds for a number of individual projects which may last for less than a year or any period up to 3 years, or it may be used for a single project which spans the whole of the 3 years. This new initiative is linked to the Catlin Seaview Survey, a series of worldwide scientific expeditions launched by Catlin in 2012 to document the composition and health of the world's coral reefs. In 2013, research was undertaken on Bermuda's reef system. As many of us already appreciate, Bermuda's coral reefs are an extremely significant part of Bermuda's culture and economy. I'm sure you've heard of the critical state that many of the world's reef systems are currently in, with mass coral die-off and fish loss. But to date, Bermuda has been spared much of this, and we are blessed with not only a healthy system, but also the world's most northerly coral reef system. As such, we can still rely on our reefs for food, coastline protection, and as one of our major tourism attractions. In fact, Bermuda's coral reefs were recently recognized in the most newly released volume of Coral Reefs of the World, a series presenting the status of the world's coral reefs authored by leading scientists. The 360-degree panoramic images taken by the Catlin Seaview Survey are being used to create a vital scientific baseline study of the reef that can be used to monitor change, as well as being used to reveal it to the world through Street View in Google Maps, in partnership with Google. As of October, Bermuda's signature shipwreck, the Mary Celeste, features on Google Street View, a technology featured in Google Maps and Google Earth that provides panoramic views from positions along many streets in the world. The Department of Conservation Services worked with Catlin Seaview Survey Head of Operation Christopher Belash and his team to make the Mary Celeste possibly the first shipwreck to ever appear on Google Street View. It is a great way to preserve what it looks like now while also promoting diving in Bermuda as broadly as possible. We Bermudians have a strong tradition of stewardship of our reefs, a tradition that this government intends to continue. So thank you again to Catlin and End-to-End to providing further opportunities to appreciate and protect our marine environment. It seems like you're always doing something positive for Bermuda, whether it be environmentally through the creation of this grant or socially, having raised more than $4 million to date for local charities through your annual End-to-End fundraising event. You certainly make a huge difference in the lives of thousands of Bermuda residents. Thank you.
Thank you to Anne. Thank you to Minister Moniz for your kind words. It was quite a comprehensive description of Catlin Seaview Survey, so as a consequence, I'll be able to keep my remarks mercifully brief. We're proud to have created and been involved in the development of the Catlin Marine Grant, an initiative that will increase awareness of or promote action to preserve and protect Bermuda's marine environment. It's important work and we're proud to be part of it. Catlin has been the title sponsor of the End-to-End event since 2008, and we remain enthusiastically committed to the enterprise as we move forward and go from strength to strength under Anne and her team's impressive leadership. The Marine Grant further strengthens our ties to the end-to-end, and it will support local charities involved in the marine environment. Following the work we undertook last year in Bermuda under the guises of the Seaview Survey and the creation of the Global Reef Record, we now look to create a lasting legacy for Seaview work. There will be two components to that legacy. The first will be the development of educational criteria, which will go into all of Bermuda's schools, and work is going on at the moment to develop that work in partnership with the government. And secondly, through the Marine Grant, which is a great way to generate new initiatives within the local scientific community and among related charities. As Minister Moniz has pointed out, our goal is to support the creation of projects which have both measurable outcomes and are sustainable over time. Existing projects will be considered, but new ones will be very, very interesting to us, and we encourage collaboration among existing agencies. The deadline for submissions is February the 28th, so we encourage any of you that are watching or listening to get cracking, get those applications in, and we're looking forward to reviewing the outcomes and coming to a decision. That's it. Thank you very much for listening.
I would just like to say a few words about how this grant came about. As you know, both, and as has been described, both Catlin and the Bermuda End-to-End have a strong history, a long history of giving in Bermuda, and we have a good sense of where the need is. And Catlin's giving has been directed a lot at the youth of Bermuda. Of course, they had that outstanding $1 million grant for the hospital last year, which, you know, it goes across the island beyond youth. And we also, at the Bermuda End-to-End Trust, are very proud of our history of giving. We have distributed, actually, it's $4.5 million. I want to add that extra $500,000, Minister. And in our giving since 1988, we have actually distributed 145 grants to the charitable community. And so we're very proud of it. And when we came to Bermuda to talk about renewing our contract for title sponsor, we came with the knowledge that no matter how much we've done together or separately, there's always so much more that needs to be done. So when we approached Catlin and Graham to say, you know, is there a possibility that maybe a new grant could be created, a new way to extend our mission of giving, they gave us conditional agreement to do it, but the main question is, where should these funds be directed? Well, we know with the difficult economy that Bermuda has faced, much of the giving in the community has been directed towards the urgent and the immediate, which is probably youth and children and seniors. But there are other things, other issues out there that are really equally urgent and maybe almost as immediate, but maybe are not in front of our noses all the time. And one of those, of course, is the health of the environment. And because of Catlin's Seaview Survey, history and all the outstanding things they're doing for the environment locally as well as globally, and in regard to the Bermuda End-to-End, Bermuda environment is really the platform. That is the end-to-end, from one end of the island to the other. We use that as a passageway to have our participants traverse across the island. And also, nowadays, they're also in the ocean. Starting about 10 years ago, we started with a swimming component, a rowing component, and this year we are even going to introduce paddleboarding. So the environment is very important to us, too, and out of these talks and discussions with Catlin came the knowledge and the understanding and the clarity that really the environment is where we wanted to focus, and in particular, the marine environment of Bermuda. So we are delighted and excited to be part of this initiative. Working with Catlin is an honor and a privilege. They are, for all the things that the minister has mentioned. They are supportive of community. They're open to new initiatives. They approach things with kind of an innovative, strategic, thoughtful vision. And working with them has been a real pleasure. And we are delighted to see what is going to be the outcome of this initiative. We hope to see it's going to spark some interest and some out-of-the-box thinking. So we really welcome some proposals in thinking new ways and bringing some attention to the importance of our marine environment. So thank you all very much for coming today.
Thank you.